Welcome everybody. These Wednesday webinars are arranged by Pune River Revival. We mainly work for rivers, trees, and all the issues related to the environment, and one of that is also groundwater. So today we have Ravindra Sinha with us, and he's quite well known actually in the activist circle of Pune. We have had his sessions on the tree acts. He has also explained how we could participate in various things that PMC is doing, whether it is a new development plan or whether it is about groundwater. So today he is going to walk us through the citizens participatory budget of Pune Municipal Corporation and how we could participate in that. Before we start the webinar, just one quick announcement is that we are on this occasion of Independence Day on 15th August. We are going to go to 4 different locations to look at the heritage trees and nominate them for punetrees.org, which I will be sending in the chat box soon. So please do participate and share it in your network, and we will be happy to see you in one of the 4 locations. The 4 locations are uh, BHS, which is the Biodiversity Heritage Site in Ganesh Khind, and then Pune University, Ferguson College, and Empress Garden. So whatever is closer to you, do participate. It is at morning 8 o'clock. So now we can start with the webinar. So Ravindraji, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Prajakta. We'll start right away. So this is basically announcement. Some of you must have seen in the newspapers and some articles which have published in local news. So citizens participatory budget for the FY 27-28. So it's actually for the next year, and the process begins from now itself. You can suggest works for your ward level, which will be either online or offline. You can do this. I'll explain how it is to be done. Move ahead. So this notice you must have seen in the newspaper. In case you have not seen, still it is okay. The window for submitting your suggestions and your proposals is from 1st of August to 31st of August. This is a recent article in Times of India. So we will look at how this has to be done with some examples. So the examples are basically related to water conservation and environment, but I leave it up to you for different projects which you can propose. So what is participatory budgeting? So participatory budgeting is basically a channel which your proposal can become an actual line item in the PMC's budget. Okay, it has a history in many countries. Actually, we did some study and found that it was actually Brazil which had started this in way back in 1989. And we in India also proposed this sometime in the 2000s. So it happened actually in Pune in 2005, right? And Nagrik Chetna Manch, NSCC, CE, other NGOs of Pune, they had taken lead in promoting citizens' participatory budget. And 2006 and 7 it has started. So it's nearly 20 years since the citizens' participatory budget has been in place in Pune in PMC, and it is one of the few cities actually across India where it is being implemented annually. So to basically thank our pioneering NGOs and civil society members who had 20 years ago initiated this, and they have contributed a lot in ensuring that the citizens participatory budget is conducted every year, and many works are sanctioned under this. So what actually happens in this, we'll see ahead. So there are 3 things which we need to remember. One is that the financial cap for this kind of project is just 5 lakh rupees. So every individual project which you propose, the maximum amount of that should be about 5 lakhs. And in every ward, which has 4 members, except for one ward in Pune, which is 5 members, these are technically the pravags, not the administrative ward. So 41 pravags which are there. Under that, you get every 4-member ward gets 1 crore, and 5 member gets 1.25 crore to be uh, used for this participatory budgeting. Now, scope of work, many things, footpaths, cycle tracks, street lights, traffic signal, bus stops. So we'll see a lot of examples of what can be proposed. And there are some reservations in terms of inclusivity. So some funds are reserved for women and child welfare schemes, some are reserved for backward class welfare and for disabled or specially able schemes. So how the process is run? The citizen basically does the application. It goes to the ward office. The ward committee scrutinizes it, submits it to the assistant municipal commissioner, who's the ward commissioner. Then finally it goes to the deputy commissioner of the zone, municipal commissioner, and then it is finalized. So this process takes time, and by October they have to release the list of works which have been approved under this. So we are 41 Pravags, 165 corporators. 40 Pravags are with 4 corporators and only one Pravag is with 5 corporators. Number 38. Okay, this I just talked to you about. 1 crore is the ceiling for 4 corporator Pravag. This is the event sequence of activities which will happen now. So we have up to 31st of August to either collect the physical forms from the ward office, fill it and submit it to them, or we can do it online as well. I'll show you how the process is. Post that, you will have your regular ward committee meetings, smaller committee meetings where the plan will be discussed. It will be digitized, the JEs will prepare the estimates, and the ward committees will finalize it, and finally it will go to the municipal commissioner. Okay, how do we participate? So get the form. You can get the form from the ward office since from starting from 1st August, so you can anytime go and get it, or you can go on this website, fill it, submit it, track it, engage with the ward committee, and watch the finalists. So ward committee is basically your local elected corporators of your ward. So if you can take a second and take a snapshot of this QR code and this website, or you can Google it, you will get PMC public budget, participatory budget. You can get this link. But anyway, I've just kept this so that a lot of people can just take a snapshot of this and you can then go to the website. Okay. So can you see this website?
Yes.
Okay, one
Yes.
second.
I mean, after scanning the QR code, we all can see on our phone, right?
Yeah, but I have also actually gone to the website on.
No, we cannot see it on your screen yet.
Okay, I'll have to then share again. 1 second. Give me a second, I'll share it. Yeah, now is it visible?
Yes.
So you will come to this site, you will have to basically sign up. If you don't have account, you will sign up. I already have account, I will log in. Once I log in, I will come to this screen. In this screen, I can make the suggestions for the project. If I click on this, these are the different department heads under which you can mention your suggestion. So, Bhavan is your building department. This is the ward under Aund, which has Pravag 8 and 9. So, I am from Pravag 9. I will select Susbaner Pashan. Now, sector, which is the sector I would want to file my budget request, I'll have to select that. So if I say school, then what is the work type? Is it new work? You have to select new work, work description. Suppose I want rainwater harvesting to be done in the school, I will type rainwater harvesting. Okay, what is the public purpose to be achieved? You can say this will help the school in terms of their water security, how much of liters of water, it will help in groundwater recharge. So you'll have to basically fill these details. Okay, and then you have to select the location of the where you are proposing this work. So it can be like in this case, we're taking a school. So if you click on this, you will actually be shown a map, and then you can select the location where you are proposing this intervention. Okay, or you can type the location here, and then you have to preview and submit. So this is the simple process for the application. So these are the guidelines to fill the form. So it is an inbox. After you fill it, then you will keep getting communication in your inbox. And there is some analytics also, which as of now, it is how it is to be used, I don't know, but it actually gives all the wards, all the prabhags, the work type. So I think once people start populating it, or it may start getting populated and show these details. So let's hope that happens. Okay, so we'll come back to the presentation. I will start my PowerPoint. Okay, so this is visible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this I showed you, login, and you can go and see. So these are some of the we need to take care in terms of the guidelines which are there. So one is that we should not assume that just because you have requested a work, it will get approved. It's not very likely that, because just about 1 crore means if there are many citizens filing for it and each of them has kept a budget of suppose 5 lakhs, then you'll have only 20 proposals. If somebody has kept a budget of 1 lakh, then you will have like 100 proposals. So we don't know how many people are filing, because maximum expenditure for a single work is 5 lakhs. So uh, some of the kinds of work which will not be taken also are mentioned here. Which this is available. This is there on the website also. So you know what can be done under the participatory budget and what cannot be done. This is the inclusivity provisions. For some percentages reserved for certain uh, activities and certain segments. So what does it cost to apply? Nothing. Is there a limit on my ask? No. Your limit is basically 5 lakhs, but you can propose multiple works. So for instance, I can submit 20 proposals for 20 different things, each which should not exceed 5 lakhs. Okay, what works qualify? So there is a very broad spectrum on this. So it is all to do with PMC's own jurisdiction. We cannot ask for something which is beyond their jurisdiction. And how do you know it is accepted? You will have the ward office is supposed to compile and provide you that information. So let's take some examples of how our NGOs have been working on this since the last 20 years. So some kind of ward improvement proposals primarily which have worked upon is road and pedestrian safety, environment, public amenities, and recreation and placemaking. So let us see each one of them. So this is road and pedestrian safety. So you can ask for pedestrian guardrails at chowks, cat eyes and reflective warning poles, bollards on pavements, wheelchair ramps, safety cycle paths, continuous. So these are some of the projects which have been proposed and which have been implemented based on citizens' participation. Then we look at green and environmental care. So we can see projects regarding tree protection, tree guards, removing concrete from base of the trees. Then for pet care, there are provisions regarding creating some spaces for pets in the gardens or public spaces, mobile garden waste shelters, waste composting pits. Then in terms of public amenities, recreation, you can ask for signages, you can ask for toilets, library, corners, open gyms and parks, beautification, murals, paintings. Okay. Now we'll just go to some examples around water and water conservation, groundwater. So some of the things which the team has been looking at, and we are obviously going to get this further refined. These are just images which have been conceptualized. So one is the concrete jungle effect, which we can mitigate by ensuring more permeable surfaces. So you can ask for permeable footpaths, and you can ask for the concrete around the trees to be removed. So this typically will cost you about 5,000 rupees per square meter based upon the excavation, putting of the media, gravel, leathers, and the porous blocks. So this kind one stretch in your area, you can look at basically creating the solution. So there are citizens who have been doing this, and this budget will probably help them uh, expand or scale this work. This is a concept which we have been working with our partners, Jivit Nadi, PKC, Tree Public, and others, where we are looking at creating bioswale landscapes in gardens for groundwater, for enhancing groundwater recharge. So these are structures which can be built in gardens where there is runoff. That is, rainwater is running off into certain areas, and these bioswales are very good measures which can be taken for local groundwater recharge. We also have spring conservation, which is unique to Pune because we have some gardens in Pune which have springs. We have many streams in Pune which have springs at locations. And how do we revive these streams? Even at hill slopes, in some of the hill slopes, you can see springs. These springs can be revived by creating spring box. A spring box is a structure which can channelize the spring. Okay, and it can have a small, like this is a spring pool. A small spring box and a spring pool can be created for to harness the spring water and to keep it alive. So these estimates don't go by it. We have tried to get this verified through the SSR rates, the schedule rates. And whatever schedule rates we could log in, we find that to be reasonable, but sometimes there are missing costs involved. This is very unique. This is basically a roadside recharge, which can be implemented. So it's one of the gurus of landscaping, Brad Lancaster. His video has gone viral along with Andrew Millison. You should watch that video. And these are some of the measures he had recommended for creating urban sponges or more permeable surfaces. So this can be created alongside of footpaths where you can ensure that the runoff enters into this recharge basin. It's like a bioswale only, but with a slightly modified design. Other thing which can be looked at is infiltration trenches, soakways, which can be built along the roads, along the hill slopes, along gardens, along playgrounds. So these are structures which can also absorb or runoff, which is localized. Then the popular recharge shaft or borewell recharge can be done. This can be done in any municipal building because all the projects which we have to propose, they have to be on public property. They are not inside private property. So you can ask this to be done in a building which is a government building around your residential area because it will enhance the groundwater levels of the particular area you live in. Okay. Similarly, shallow trenches. We are also contemplating duck wells in gardens. So there are many gardens which can be used for the purpose of having small diameter duck wells. These are not large wells; these are small diameter, up to 3 meters, and the depth also is just up to shallow aquifer about 10 meters. And these wells basically harness the rainwater runoff as well as create a storage for the local use for the local plantation. And another request which we are considering is for the plantation sites we have. So, like for many Punekars are involved in these plantation activities across Pune. So, in Pashan, Baner, Soos, Palunge, even Vital Tekdi, Chatursingi Tekdi, Tazai Tekdi, Waguli Tekdi, Mohammad Wadi, NIBM. We have so many groups working on plantation. So, this budget can be actually helpful when you are looking for grass cutting machines to remove the grass during the dry season because that results in forest fires. You can look for HDP pipelines for watering your plantations, storage tanks which can be created on the hill slopes, as well as solar pumps, so which can be used as a you can say that if there are buildings which have sewage treated plants, STP plants, you can connect the water supply from the STPs and lay a HDP pipeline to your plantation site. So this has been done in Baner, where two societies have actually laid a HDP pipeline for about 2,000 feet, and they are actually watering the plants in on the hill slopes of Baner. So this can be one good example. So there are multiple such initiatives which can be taken. So once you submit your uh, application online or offline, what you need to do is you cannot sit and assume that things will happen on its own. You'll have to inform your ward committee members, which are your corporators, and tell them about the proposal you have submitted, share the design estimate if you have available, attend the Mohalla committee meeting. So every ward office has a Mohalla committee meeting at a designated date and time. Find out what is for your area. Like for Prabhag 8 and 9, the own ward conducts the monthly Mohalla committee meeting on last Thursday at 11 in the morning, and we have very good participation. So this needs to be discussed in the Mohalla committee meetings as well. If your proposal is not selected, do not be rejected, because you will have other avenues for getting the works approved. So it's not that the budget is only there from this head. There are other heads, budget heads, which are available with the local Pravak Samiti. You can ask them to consider your works under the local Pravak Samiti. And if there is a collective pressure from more people for that particular kind of project, then obviously the elected representatives and the ward commissioner will have to consider it. So this is in short, which are about citizens participatory budget. We can take your questions.
There are a few questions in the chat box. Will you take it, or do you want us to go through that?
Okay, I can see some questions. Let me just go through them.
Sure. The first one is how many suggestions we can make. I think you
As much
answered
as you
that.
want.
But
As much as
per suggestion, there is this 5 lakh cap, right?
the budget cap is 5 lakhs. For the
Yeah.
work which you are prescribing, the budget has to be 5 lakhs.
Right.
So anybody has received the budget and got it approved last 20 years?
There is
It
one
has
more
been,
before that. Sorry, there is one more.
yeah.
Can any organization fill the form, or is it only by individuals?
Individual has to fill the form.
Okay. Okay, now you can take that. As anyone received the budget?
Yes, yes, multiple. I showed you in the beginning the examples. A lot of things have happened under these citizens participatory budget, and a lot of NGOs have been working on it for last 2 decades. So as I told you, 2006 is when it started, and NSCC, Nagarik Chetna Manch, Parisar, a lot of other NGOs have been working on this. CE has been very instrumental in pioneering citizens' participation in the budget. They also created some templates for citizens to use.
I think the question is this, that if, say, for example, the one you showed as an example is like rainwater harvesting. So what she's asking is, has anybody suggested something like rainwater harvesting in a school
Yes,
and
yes.
actually got it implemented? Do you have
Yeah.
any success story like that?
Yes, so rainwater harvesting has been implemented. Garden based initiatives have been, environmental based initiatives have been implemented. Suggesting new projects, how about work in community sanitation? So that you'll have to take up with the ward office. These, this is very limited. Our
Yeah, it's
budget is
limited
10,000
program.
crores. 10,000 crores, and we have 41
Yeah, yeah.
Prabhaks with 1 crore. 41 crores only. So this is a very minuscule portion of the budget. This is primarily to address very local specific issues where citizens want something to be done. They want street lights in their lane. They want footpaths in their lane. They want road dividers. They want signages. So those are the kind of works which are
Yeah,
accumulated under this.
I would have thought community sanitation is a very important issue for everybody. But anyway, that's okay. I understand what
Yeah, so that
participatory
is something
budget
which
is about.
we have to jointly take it up with PMC.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
can I
what?
ask a question?
Yeah, I'm just going through the list of questions first. So option for new and renovation. Yes, there is an option for they've given an option for new and renovation in the selection when you see the go on the website. So either something which needs to be repaired or there needs to be something which needs to be created, new work. So both options are given. DP plan pending due to that is another question. So there are multiple cases going on in court regarding development plan and amenity spaces which are lying vacant. But amenity spaces which are in possession of PMC and you want some work to be done in that amenity space, you can definitely propose. Porous blocks can cause people to slip. Yes. So it can needs to be taken. It cannot be done anywhere. Brad Lancaster video was fine. Link is there. NSCC demand for one day workshop 2005. Yeah. Shamlatai, NSCC is as I recognized in the beginning of the presentation itself. A lot of work has been done by NSCC for the last 2 decades on citizens participation budget. Suggestions on the website. Why to tell the corporate Mola committee? People, PMC work on right. I don't have time. Yeah, that is fair. Fair. You don't need to follow up if you don't have time. Increase in staff of government space be suggested. So HR costs are not mentioned here, but that needs to be verified. We can check with the ward officer. If you're looking at asking for more resources, then it will entitle some cost. And then what is the cost? Because you have to search works for 5 lakhs. So
I
if you
think
say
we missed one or two questions. One was about this. One second.
what is HCMTR? That is outside this
No,
scope.
no,
That
no,
has
no.
to
It
be
is
taken
not
away.
about HCMTR. What it is saying that if it annihilates citizen suggested approved implemented initiatives,
Sorry.
what happens if mega projects like the proposed HCMTR completely
Yeah,
annihilates
yeah,
citizen suggested approved
yeah.
implemented initiatives? It's a
Correct.
little hopeless if it.
Yeah. It is perfectly hopeless. You're right. If something like this happens, then we have been fighting the RFD for so many years. What has happened? We are
Okay.
fighting for the encroachments on the hills. So many illegal things are happening.
I think
What happens to this budget if it is not utilized? And can
Damini
multiple.
has Damini has another questions. After suggesting on the website, why tell the corporators and
I
mohalla?
told her no, that if he does not want to tell the corporate, it's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Because see, these are questions which, what do you expect me to answer?
Okay. Again, that what happens to this budget if it is not utilized?
That is interesting because 1 crore budget in a ward which typically has a population of what, few lakhs, it will definitely get utilized. I don't think so. It will remain unutilized because even if 20 people fill the form and ask for 5 lakh rupees for their project, it will get utilized. And there, that I've been telling you from since the beginning of this presentation that NGOs have been doing this. As members of NGOs have been doing this for a long time. So this, if you're not, we don't have this information, it's the right time for us to put our demands through citizens participation budget. I have put multiple times, it has not got approved. But does that stop me? No, I'll keep putting again and again. Can we have a garden or playground on empty ground loaded with garbage? You can, but then 5 lakhs is the upper limit. You can seek for at least getting it cleaned within 5 lakhs initially. Then you can ask somebody else to file one more suggestion for another 5 lakhs, which can be for planting something in that space. Somebody else can file another, or you can also file multiple for different works. So the option is there with you. So multiple people club their suggestions. Yes, definitely they can. Once we come to the technical part, that is your uh, proposal cannot exceed 5 lakhs, then you can decide how to structure it. So if three of us are going to ask for something in a particular area, which is common to us, we can accordingly split that. Model colony, biogas plant not working. When I search under 5 lakh to start it working, the estimates have to be taken. actually, because if the biogas plant needs 20 lakhs to make it work, then putting it in this participatory budget may not work. It will have to go through another route. We'll have to go through the department which is owning up the biogas plant. They will have to be contacted and they will have to take it up in their annual maintenance budget.
I had a query. Is this over and above the basic amenities which we can demand that be provided to us, or it is included in that also?
So basic amenities. So the problem is that we are not getting our basic amenities also. So we have to demand through this route or another route. So if you look at any location in Pune, do they have proper footpaths? Do they have proper medians, proper signages, proper lights? No. So we are anyway. We have to use each and every means available to us to give these kind of suggestions and expect that the government machinery listens to us and provides the basic amenities. So
Uh,
we'll have
I,
to look at it from that manner.
I will explain better what I wanted to ask. Do we have information of the budget already allotted to schemes for our basic amenities, and this is over and above that?
So the basic budget which is done for any for the city, for the PMC and the ward office and the Pravak Samiti, those details are available on the PMC website. And if we need more granular information, we'll have to contact the respective ward office. Now, if that budget has been taken already, like for example, let's consider a road in the area which needs to be repaired, and that budget has already been taken up by the road department. So we may not need to file this under the citizens participatory budget. But to understand whether it has been done, we'll have to speak to somebody in the ward office. That is why going to the Mohalla committee, monthly Mohalla meeting is very important. Because that is where you can ask for for this information, because the entire team is sitting across the table. The department officers are there, and we can ask them for this particular road why the street lights are not provisioned. They say no, budget is there, we are going to get it tendered and it will happen in the next 2 months. Then that will not be we will not have to request that for our participatory budget.
Thank you. Thank you. It's clear now.
What is that? Footpath repair, biofuels, yes. These are more of these are very
I think somebody asked for examples, like what can we ask for? That's why I've given the examples which were already told in the presentation. And then there is a question: is it vital to provide the cost of all the elements required in the proposed project? Does it need to be in the form of a quotation?
no. So the costing is done by PMC. They are JEs. They are junior engineers are doing the costing. We don't have to give any costing to PMC. If we have any estimates, we can give it. Otherwise, it is not necessary, because they will based upon what we have proposed do the costing, and if it falls within 5 lakhs, then they will consider it. If it goes above that, then they will not consider it. So we have to be slightly cautious on what we are demanding. Yeah, so Waguli needs dam water. Can I apply for the same? So, ma'am, PIL 126 of 2022, Waguli Housing Societies Association was the main petitioner. So, you please speak to somebody in WHSA. They are following it up with the committee formed under the High Court.
Maybe you answered it, but maybe I missed it. I apologize. I
No
wanted to
problem.
know if you had a successful project that you had suggested, and if you could just walk through the process of how it worked out, like once the PMC picked up your idea.
Yeah, so none of my projects have been approved till date. Okay, so what other NGOs have applied for multiple things and got it approved? NGOs are members of the other NGOs. So traffic lights or footpaths or medians, these are very simple things which have got approved.
And how was the implementation? Was that like Oh, all right, fine. Or I mean, do you have any feedback from them?
So I don't have any feedback on them, but I assume that it will be as per PMC standards. So we know what is that.
Okay. All right. So I think
Repair work also is required. Yes, that also is there. Option is there on when you select the for new work or for existing. So you can ask for repair on existing amenities also.
Ravi, I had a question.
Yeah.
So you presented like some of the things which can be taken up through your presentation for the participatory budgetary and all. But when you mentioned that many of your previous suggestions were not incorporated, and what was incorporated is maybe traffic light and footpath, वगैरह वगैरह. Just wanted to ask you two things. Ki, is there any priority list which they lay down for wards, or they themselves decide की हे low ticket items आहेत किंवा हे सोपं आहे, नॉन कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल आहेत गोष्टी तर त्या जास्त कराव्या? Is it something like that? And suppose we are proposing a bioswale in a garden or something like that. It's technically a bit more challenging. They have to put in more efforts from their side and all. That's why those ticket items, even if the cost is similar or same bracket, कमी pick होतात. I mean, just I'm thinking loud.
Yeah, maybe because you have a situation where in one Prabhag you have four corporators. And
Yeah.
four corporators have to decide upon a 1 crore budget. And for that 1 crore budget, if they are getting 50 applications, so 50 citizens have submitted their demands, they will go as per priority of what they feel is important for their ward. Okay, so that aspect is going to be there. The issue with what we typically propose, like people working in environment, is something which is generally out of the box. So those getting approved is difficult. So we have
Yeah.
to keep using this route as well as the other route, which is contacting the respective departments for those kind of works. Because it may not happen through the citizens' budget, but it may happen through some other budget head, which is either part of the main department, which is part of some grant from the state or center, or it may be some maintenance budget which they can allocate.
Right.
So that is something which we will have to adjust.
रवी, फक्त एकच क्वेश्चन विचारायचा होता की पार्टिसिपेटरी बजेट बरोबर जर 4 कॉर्पोरेटर्स आपल्या वॉर्डमध्ये असतील, सो आर दे ऑल्सो अलॉटेड सम बजेट विच कॅन बी क्लब्ड फॉर एखादं प्रोजेक्ट सबस्टॅन्शियल असेल तर त्याच्यामध्ये कॉर्पोरेटरला काही फंड्स असतात का नाही की जे
भरपूर
पार्टिसिपेट?
असतात. भरपूर
Okay.
फंड असतात. So Prabhag Samiti has huge funds. That's what I'm saying. This is not the only avenue by which works are done. So as I told, 10,000 कोटीचा बजेट आहे. आपल्या प्रत्येक प्रभागला every year खूप पैसे मिळतात. Apart from the major works which the central building or the main building departments do in terms of capex infrastructure. So we need to find out what they are planning under the Prabhag Samiti budgets for our Prabhag. And if substantial budgets are available for some activities, we need to push that. Like, for example, most of the road and water and waste management and other things, so many budgets are there with the Prabhag Samiti. So, for those kind of initiatives, directly the ward committee needs to be contacted. The citizens participatory budget is very small portion of the budget actually.
So going to the mohalla committees meetings basically is very important. Otherwise also.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Just say filling a form and submitting it actually will, like I did for many years. I never got any approval. Some other people did, they got approval. But then my projects were more related to environment. So it
Correct.
never came on the radar, or it must be not in priority for the corporators under the participatory budget. But that does not mean that I will not apply again. I'll keep applying. So when we look at the spectrum of works which are required in a particular ward, So we also have to understand that they will take up something as per their priority. If we need our kind of project to be, you can say, prioritized, then we need to do the convincing separately with the corporators. That's actually important. It is difficult for some people to accept that, but this is how the system works because they have too many things on their hand. And for this kind of budget, they will need to be convinced as to why are we demanding like a spring box to protect a spring.
I think this was really very good, and it gave a very good overview how we can participate. And I think more importantly, what I understand is that how we can work with the system. Even besides this form, how we can meet the corporators and then we can get other things done which might not be accepted through these forms.
Correct.
And I think that's a very important thing. Thank you so much. It was very helpful, and this will be uploaded on YouTube. So please share with as many people as you can. You can go to YouTube, search for Pune River Revival, and then there is a playlist called as Wednesday Webinars. All our webinars will be in that playlist. This will be uploaded in next maybe 8-10 days. Also, we will release that short video of just how to fill in the form. So I think that is also going to be helpful. And thanks again, and thank you for attending. Good
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank
Good
you so
night.
much.
Good night. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.
Thank you. Good